My name is John Richardson, and I've been on staff here at the Alamo for the past 19 years. Today we're going to be talking about the common misconceptions of annexation, specifically the rights and entitlements that Texas holds that other states don't hold because of the annexation agreement. Really quick background, the Annexation Agreement Joint Resolution was signed by President James K. Polk on December 29th of 1845, making Texas the 28th state to join the Union. The Annexation Agreement is remarkable in many aspects. For me, one of the most remarkable things is its brevity. It is 665 words, which is really remarkable considering the importance of that document. And also, irony with that is the amount of misconceptions, again, about the rights, special rights and entitlements that Texas holds because of this unique agreement between two sovereign republics, United States and Texas. Often you hear people say things such as, Texas is the only state which can fly its state flag equal to, but not above the height of the U.S. flag. That is absolutely partly correct. Texas can do that. The important thing to understand is also can 49 other states. So that right is equal to every state. That goes to actually U.S. code on flag display. So again, no special right there. Texas has the same right as any other state. Often you hear Texas is the only state which can divide itself into multiple states. Texas does have that right to divide into multiple states. It is in that brief annexation agreement, but the actual agreement states that must be done within the boundaries of the Constitution, meaning the U.S. Constitution, which is under Article 4 of the U.S. Constitution, Section 3, on how states can be created from existing or even future states. So it has to be done through the agreement of the U.S. government, specifically the Congress. So it can't be done unilaterally. So it's not a special right, it's a right that any state holds, but that is in the agreement. The third thing you hear, not quite as often, but occasionally you'll hear people say something to the effect of, Texas is the only state which can secede from the Union because it came in as a republic, has the right to leave as a republic, right? Well, the answer to that is the American Civil War. That settled the issue of secession on the battlefield, and a few years later, 1869, it was settled actually in the U.S. Supreme Court. Texas v. White basically said two things. States cannot secede without the approval of the United States, which is never going to happen, of course, and also that Reconstruction was constitutional. Those are the two issues settled. Okay, so that settled the issue of Texas being able to separate. It can't actually be done. One unique right that Texas does hold, which no one ever talks about, is that Texas does own all of its public land. General Land Office of Texas controls the public lands, and those public lands importantly extend not 3 miles into the Gulf of Mexico, which is the standard length for the United States. Because of the annexation agreement, it does extend almost 10.5 miles into the Gulf, the tidelands. That amounts to 2.5 million acres of land submerged and just full of natural resources, not to mention the natural resources of the state. So that gives Texas a huge advantage economically, having possession of those lands. And in terms of further positives coming from that, in 1876, when Texas passed the Constitution, it set aside half of all its public land to provide income for public education in Texas. So that's actually aiding that as well. So the unique thing about Texas is its public land ownership and the extent of that. And the irony is that's the one thing people don't mention. They talk about, flying the flag. They talk about, secession. They talk about separation. They talk about dividing. But the one unique thing Texas does have is that ability to control its public lands, which is important to Texas today.